I hope you enjoyed last week's short film that I put together based on Dabasir's clay money tablets that outlined his system for getting out of debt and becoming wealthy. Something a little bit different in style for you. This week, we're back to seeing yours truly on camera and talking more about money, specifically the psychology of money and the difference between poor, middle class and rich people. And the real secret is, it's all in the mind. And I'll explain why next. Hello my friend, Edward here with the tools, techniques and insight needed to help you create positive change in your life. If you ever have any questions, post them down in the comments or drop me an email via the contact page on YouTube and I'll get back to you. Remember, I grew a group of 5 restaurants from nothing to 5 sites, so I can claim to know a thing or two about business and life. So what do I mean it's all in the mind? Well, I'll come to that later, as we do need to build the foundation first. Let's look at the 4 types of people in this world: employees, the self-employed, business owners and investors. Now, which ones do you think would classify as rich and which ones don't? And which one are you? These 4 people fit neatly into 4 quadrants like most things in life, which we can see here on the screen. On the bottom row, we have the employees and the self-employed, and on the top row, we have the business owners and the investors. The bottom row accounts for about 90% of the people and 10% of the wealth, while the top row accounts for about 10% of the people and 90% of the wealth. If you weren't sure about my question before, I think this little diagram makes it pretty clear. The quadrant system was made famous by Robert Kiyosaki in his Rich Dad, Poor Dad series, and there's links below for the books, and has been varied by many others in the money space. The bottom row can be summarized as servants of their lives. They trade their time for money. The employee may have some free time, but not enough money to really enjoy it. And the self-employed person usually has more money, but lacks the time to enjoy it because they're doing so many more things. The top row are captains of their lives. The business owner creates systems which other people follow, which then generate money, and he or she can then enjoy the profits and the time that they gain from it. The investor is like a gardener and multiplies this by investing into many different systems to generate more money more quickly. And this is where the magic of passive income really takes root. However, just knowing this isn't enough to move from one quadrant to another. Moving horizontally is easier than moving vertically, but each requires a shift in mindset and energy. We could get into a very lengthy discussion about money, but your core thinking about the primary purpose of money dictates where you sit on the whole spectrum of poor, middle class and rich. I'm not quantifying these here with financial values, and I'm not using these terms with any inferred stigma. They are simply containers to classify the journey. And since you're watching this video, I assume you want to be in the rich container. And if that's right, give the video a like. As Myron Golden, author of From the Trash Man to the Cash Man, and there's a link below to his book, succinctly says, poor people think the primary purpose of money is to pay bills and buy stuff. The middle class think it's to create and maintain good credit, while the rich think it's simply to turn into more money. And how you think at your core dictates which pot you fall into. Interestingly, your psychology of money steers you into this pot unconsciously. It is not that your job doesn't pay enough for you to enjoy life more and become more wealthy. It's because you think you only need money to pay bills on stuff that you sought out that type of job in the first place. And I'll put a couple of links to mindset videos below too. The middle class are not much different to the poor in this scenario, in that they're doing the same thing, but often because they perceive themselves to be more wealthy, which in reality just means better off or more comfortable, they have nicer things to show for it and borrow money to buy them on the basis that they'll pay it off from the money they make in the future. Both of these classes of people look for guarantees, and that's why they're afraid to invest or take a risk. They don't want to lose. But rich people see risks as opportunities and use this mindset to grow their wealth. Now, not all risks are equal, and the rich don't take blind risks. Each risk is assessed with due diligence, and the risks are minimized as much as possible. But as the saying goes, no risk, no reward. So, which one of these 3 categories of people do you fit into based on what you think the primary purpose of money is? Poor, middle class, or rich? Let me know in the comments. T. Harv Eker has a brilliant book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, which I'll link below too, and excellent courses around this subject too. And he summarises the thinking of people into 2 groups, the poor and middle class and the financially independent and rich. Now, this parallels with what I was saying just now, and if you're still uncertain which group you fall into, listen to his findings and then make your choice. The poor and middle class people think in the majority like the following. They have a victim mentality. They believe life happens to them. They play the money game not to lose, values. They want to be rich. They think small. They think with limitations. They wish and hope a lot. They tend to focus more on the obstacles. They often resent rich and successful people. They tend to associate with negative and unsuccessful people. Remember the saying that you're the sum of the 5 people you most associate with? They think negatively about selling and promoting. They are always smaller than their problems. They are poor receivers. They think in terms of either or. They focus on their working income and instant gratification. They mismanage their money and they buy liabilities. They work hard for their money, or more realistically, have to work hard for their money. They let fear stop them, and they think they already know it all. But then financially independent and rich people think in the majority like this. They believe in the saying, I create my life and accept full responsibility for my choices. They play the money game to win. They are committed to being rich. They think big. They think in terms of possibilities and they dream a lot. They focus on opportunities. They admire other rich and successful people. They want to know how they did it. They associate with positive, successful people. They are willing to promote themselves and their values. They are always bigger than their problems. They are excellent receivers. Here's $1,000. Thank you. They choose to get paid based on results. They think in terms of both or and. They focus on their net worth and they postpone gratification. They manage their money well and they buy assets. They make their money work hard for them. Or, as Myron says in his book, you're holding onto your money long enough for it to get pregnant and have babies. You never spend the mama money, you only spend the baby money. They act in spite of fear and they constantly learn and grow. So now, which group do you fall into based on this longer list of virtues of each group? Or are you stuck transitioning from one to the other? Maybe I could help. Feel free to drop me a question below or via my contact page on YouTube and I'll get back to you. I touched on some of the mindset aspects in my earlier videos on the 7 keys of success and the 7 habits that smart people do every day, and I'll link both of these below. But if you want to delve deeper into money psychology and understand the rules of money you're probably breaking, which helps keep you worse off than you'd like to be, watch this video next. And until next time, my friend, live your light.
Hello there.
Because they perceive something. Not again. They work hard for their money, or more realistically, pissed as a fart. So,